Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure for me to be part of this program today, and I'm happy that you gave me this opportunity to tell you a little bit what happened in Luxembourg since the last 12 months. 2019 was a great year for us. We have traveled a lot, had a lot of contacts, but it was also a heavy year due to one particular big event, especially here in Europe. It was the Ministerial Council of the European Space Agency. It took us about 1 year to prepare ourselves to participate to this event. It was the opportunity to consult our ecosystem in Luxembourg and to define our priorities for the participation to the programs of the European Space Agency. At the same time, we prepared our National Action Plan, which is the document in which we define our policy in space, also our priorities, and it served as a guideline to the investment we have made during the Ministerial Council of ESA. Our priorities at this occasion were, as usual, satellite communications and the support to the development of applications using infrastructure in space and data from space. And for the first time, Luxembourg contributed to the exploration program. This is a great premiere for Luxembourg, and this is of course not a surprise for those who follow our policy. Since 2016, we are very actively engaged to promote the use of space resources, and this was of course the main driver to start being part of the exploration program of the European Space Agency. 2020 was a very particular year, as you can imagine, with the current crisis. It was a very big difference with the year before. We have really been hampered in our traveling, and our international engagement was extremely slowed down. Nevertheless, I think we have continued to support our industry, and we have continued developing new projects with them to support them in this particular difficult period. As you can imagine, all our companies have been impacted through various reasons, like launch delays, like issues on the supply chain, as well as postponements of acquisition of contracts with customers and other reasons. As an agency, we also have been impacted by the crisis due to the number of conferences and events that have been cancelled. We also had to postpone some of our events, with the consequence that our new Space Europe conference has now been postponed to next year in November 2021. This year has also been the opportunity to issue the 2020 edition of our Space Directory. The number of companies that are now registered in this directory has risen to 53 companies, and we also have 7 research labs that are now part of our Space Directory, which is a significant change since the adhesion of Luxembourg to the European Space Agency in 2005. At that time, we had only a handful of companies active in the space sector, and now with 53 companies, that means that we have about a 10 times increase in the number of companies active in space in Luxembourg. In our effort to promote the use of space data, we have set up the LSA Data Center, and we are very proud that this year we finally give access to all Sentinel-1 and Sentinel-2 satellite data for the community who is interested in developing applications based on Earth observation data. This year is also a great year for space resources. As announced already at the Ministerial Council of ESA, we will set up the European Space Resources Innovation Center in Luxembourg. Our objective is to have this center operational before the end of this year. ESRIC is really an important element of our strategy. We have seen with all our investigations that the research on space resources is particularly important. And so we are here creating a unique platform also to gather all the researchers and businesses that are interested in developing technologies on space resources here in Luxembourg. We are extremely happy also that ESA is a strategic partner to this center. It will give a European dimension to the center, and with this also really create a critical mass in Europe for the development and the research of space resources. Despite the difficulties to travel this year, we continued the dialogue with our international partners, and in particular, it's a pleasure to inform you that Luxembourg envisages to participate to the Artemis program of NASA. Thank you very much for this opportunity and wish you a fantastic workshop.